Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Braxtons. This is season 1, episode 7. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you for your support. Please support this channel also by liking this video. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can leave your comments below. Let's get into this episode. There's not much to it. All right, so Trina, Miss E, and Tawanda. It looks like they are the main characters on this show that you're going to see a lot of. It looks like. They're getting the Manning and Petty. Trina and Tawanda are already there, and Miss E is coming along. Tawanda says, I'm going to get into Miss E's business about what happened on this date. They do this flashback of when Miss E said, stay out of my business and all this good stuff. So anyways, as soon as she sits down, she asks Miss E about the date. And she basically said that she didn't like it. Her problem is that he was dressed in all purple from head to toe. And the most that she liked about the guy is that he was a man. Now Miss E in the confessional is saying that she hates when she gets set up by her girls because they never get it right. Even though we saw 2 episodes ago, you were telling Tony that you needed to be fixed up on a date. I don't know exactly what you want, Miss E, because you just kind of whatever. So we're going to keep going through the cycle. And I think it is what it is. I mean, she's at whatever age she's at. So whatever she gets, she gets. Just don't keep on complaining if you're still asking and no one knows what you really want. All right. So Tony, she's having rehearsal in LA for her Love and Laughter review show that she has with Cedric the Entertainer. Her musical director or director of the whole situation, Dr. Walter Millsap. They're going through the whole rehearsal situation. We're hearing Tony in the confessional giving some backstory with her and Cedric the Entertainer. She's friends with him and his wife. Their children had dated at some point. The children didn't make it as far as a couple, but the parents remained friends. I know that we find out later. I know I have it written down someplace, but since it's in my mind, she did say that how her and Cedric have related or has been able to relate to her is that Cedric's mother had lupus. So he has sympathy and they've been able to bond in that manner. So Miss E, Trina, and Tawanda, they have arrived in LA. What's supposed to be happening is there's going to be an LA marketing photo shoot in anticipation for the Braxtons that we are watching right now. So of course this is supposed to be love and laughter. There's a lot of music, but there's also a lot of comedy that Tony has to join in on and supposed to tell jokes. Tony's jokes always fall flat. The sisters ended up saying boo. After they kind of break, Tawanda was like, or Trina was like, your jokes aren't really that great. She said, she made an example of what Tony does when she's trying to tell a joke, and they're not that funny. Lunch. Okay, Miss Eve, Trina, and Tawanda, they go out to lunch. Tony has a rehearsal, so she's not able to make it with them. So Trina talks about the photo shoot, and she said that she had wished that she had lost about 10 pounds. And then Tawanda and Trina was like, hey, well, you can just get the Photoshop diet. Basically, they're going to sink everything in because she said, look, I'm going to need some undergarments to kind of pack this on in. Then she talks with Tawanda saying, we got to get to the gym. And then Tawanda and Miss E says, you have a gym in your home. See, for me, I'm the type of person, I got to get out of the house. If I'm going to do anything, I'm not that motivated as of yet. But I'm not putting a gym in my home without using it. Now, that's one thing. That's not going to happen. Trina, get in there. Get in your gym. Tawanda says, it feels weird, and basically they start bringing up Tracy again. I don't want to be critical, but at the same time, it just seems like let's add Tracy into this so that we can act like we're really celebrating her life. It's weird sometimes. It's like when they bring her up, it's probably like, okay, are y'all just bringing this in just to bring her up? Not in like in a regular conversation, y'all just talking about Tracy. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I was like, okay. thank you, but no thank you, in my opinion. Um, Tawanda was like, I've had this feeling like Tracy's gonna be walking in anytime, and then she's gonna say something so off the wall, which that is how Tracy is a lot. Um, so Trina and Tawanda, they end up getting up to take pictures, and then all of a sudden they see a hummingbird, and they know that this is a sign from Tracy. Tracy said, "Every time you see a hummingbird, I'm around you and I'm near you." So they say, "Hey," and Miss E reacts and all that good stuff. So I guess that's a good sign. All right, this is the time for the photo shoot. Um, the photographer is Derek Blanks, or Banks, or Blanks, Blanks or Banks. He's done a lot of directing. He directed Trina's video back in season 2. Remember that party or go home or something like that? I remember that video, and I liked the song. And kind of wish that Trina had went on and kept going with that. But anyways, um, he's directing everything. Tawanda is feeling good about the photo shoot because this will be the first time, I guess, on a national level that people are going to see her with no hair. Of course, she does have the alopecia. She starts talking about that this episode. She says that she feels the freest without her hair. Where's Tamar? We find out that Tamar is in Atlanta, and she's going to be doing her own marketing photo shoot from there. I think it was Tony that said it's not the same without her or Tracy being there. Yeah, Tony did say they would bring the laughter for the long sets that you are with a photo shoot. So back in Atlanta, she's doing her own photo shoot. Tamar is, and she's asked a question by a producer: "Does it feel strange not doing a photo shoot with your other sisters?" And she said, "Strange," because she's like, "What do you mean by that?" Then we cut to all of a sudden she says, "I don't feel connected." She said, "Not connected." She's connected to her family, but not connected to the production of it all. She says, about the show, I'm really here to more talk about Tracy, and just not really down with all the other stuff as before. I know she said that she feels like she's not down with how it was before, where she had to come in and be a certain person. I wish from Tamar that she stopped. If you are evolving, cool. But it looks like you don't want to be known for something. You want to put the blame on production. This is you. We still see, what is it called? What's the word? What's the word I want to say? We do see remnants of you. You crash out on the social media at least every 2 months. You're always in the blogs, lady. So for you trying to convince us that it's everyone else and you had to be this, but you do this without a camera in your face. You have attention with social media. That's the thing that bothers me, and I wish you would just own that. Say that you are evolving. And with therapy, I'm not doing this anymore because it's not really befitting. But you can't expect any of us to just receive you any other way if you're still giving the same stuff. Oh, what she said. Okay, so she's had these African blessed beads. You're supposed to absorb energy with these beads. It goes around your waist. And she had them to manifest blessings for her and all that good stuff. So she ended up cutting the beads. I don't know why today. She said that she had them since Tracy passed away, and she's had them for 3 years. Why today during the photo shoot she cut them? That's on her. She says, those beads create energy, but also takes a lot of energy out of you. I don't know the whole symbolism of it all. She did explain why she had them on, but okay. That's all I can say. I don't have any type of information about that and never known anyone to do that. So, okay. She said that she's shedding and is finding herself and looking forward to being the best version of herself. All right. Back at the LA shoot, Sean, Tawanda's boyfriend, brings her flowers. Tamar. Oh, while he's doing that, Tony's also in her confessional saying, it looks like production's trying to see, is there some type of something more underlining as to why Tamar's in Atlanta and you guys are in LA. Tamar did a post on Twitter this morning that all she was doing, she was working in Atlanta. She had to be there and also with her son. And the other women, they were adamant on having it in LA. So it looks like people were working, and that was just it. She says that she doesn't understand why they had to perpetuate this type of narrative like there was something really going on. I say that Tony came to the defense, and the others didn't really harp on it. They just said, hey, so possibly she was mad at production the most because it kind of did seem like there was some type of rift, but it still doesn't seem like y'all pretty close. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we're done with the photo shoot, and God bless Sean and his flowers. Tony, Tawana, Trina. They said that, it is weird without Tracy. They got to bring her up again in conversation that just doesn't feel authentic. Trina asked Tony, how does it feel to be back in Vegas? She says, I feel good about it. I'm really relieved. And they kind of question like, huh? She said it's not, the whole weight of this whole event is not on her. And I can really see that. I can have another person there to help. Okay, so Cedric's mom had lupus, which I mentioned earlier. Tawanda to Tony. Do you see yourself ever getting married again? Tony says that she thinks that she's missed her marriage window as far as getting married again. They start talking about Trina. She being the Elizabeth Taylor. She's been married so many times. This is her third marriage. And Tony said, I know y'all about to get married. Talking about Tawanda. She's like, I haven't been proposed. Tawanda just says that he's a good partner. I saw some up and coming scenes. It looks like he's going to be proposing, whatever. So Tony brought up this analogy. Is Sean Mr. Big or Aiden? Mr. Big and Aiden are characters. I think one of them is on the spinoff. The reboot of Sex and the City. Carrie had two important men in her life. Mr. Big and Aiden. Mr. Big was the non-committable person, and Aiden was more of the romantic guy that Carrie should have picked, but she kept picking Mr. Big. Tawanda says that Sean is Aiden. But then Tony says, well, he hasn't really proposed to you after 9 years. That's a Mr. Big thing to do. I never really watched Sex and the City, so possibly a lot of you guys know if that's true or not. Not saying that Tony's lying, but I guess someone could relate to that. Is Sean Mr. Big or Aiden? Because it sounds like Tawanda wants to hype up her man. But if you are fine being partners, let it be. All right, so we're done with that, and Tawanda and Sean are having a storyline on episode 7, and next week is the finale. They talk about her hair. She's going to be doing this big interview. This is before the show comes out to market the show. She's going to be talking about her hair loss, about the alopecia that she had. She remembers when she was in 7th grade that she got made fun of for having thin hair, and she never wanted to feel that way again. She said that she's not ashamed anymore. She says during the first season of Braxton Family Values, she would wear these pigtails to kind of cover wherever the thin spots were at in her hair. Season 2, she started wearing wigs and loved that because she could hide behind that. Sean, when he was around her in the beginning of the relationship, he does say that he was encouraging her to take off those wigs. Just let your head breathe. Tawanda wasn't down with that because she didn't want to show anyone her real hair. So he says, remember the one time when I finally seen you without your wig on? And he gave her one of the biggest compliments. And Tawanda says that he's a very supportive through thick and thin. Whatever all that means, we don't know what thick and thin really means. We just know that he supported you now that you don't have any hair. And I'm this way because it's like Tawanda gets to coast on this show. So that's why I'm kind of this way. Let's see. Tony, Cedric, and they go to the Jennifer Hudson show. They're promoting the Braxton show and also the show that she's doing with Cedric in Vegas. She said, today is just not really a good day because grief is hitting me. She said it feels like I'm unprofessional. And she said that she's the type of person that has been trained, to work through any type of emotional difficulties. And I'm like, I'm telling you this much, Tony, you're going to crash and burn if you don't find an outlet to actually grieve, because it looks like you hold yourself back. And of course, you got professional things to do. We get it. I get it. You know, if nobody else gets it, I think that you are really suppressing. You're suppressing in a different way than Trina is. However, just being emotional, it looks like you don't want to go to that place. You say that you can go some places even emotionally because in your confessional, you was like, I didn't know that we were going to be talking about this. We got to stop before she actually gets to this place where she won't be able to control herself. And I think that you need a good cry. You need that type of place, somebody that you can really just pour into. That was the episode. So the only thing I just wanted to say is about the show. If you guys have been watching all week through the blogs, there was a video that was released, and it looked like Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr. were going at it, and it looked like Kevin Sr. was they was tussling. Kevin Sr. came up with another video just saying, hey, that there weren't hands on each other. I heard slaps. Whatever it was, it was. We don't know when it was released. A lot of people thought or think it's Tawanda. Other people are suspecting it's Trina because she said, you know, we ought to start releasing other videos because of all of these narratives. I've been following Jamie That's Me. You can go to her channel and you can see all the stuff that's been coming up lately. She feels, she don't know who released the video. She feels like, hey, you know, fathers and sons do go through stuff. We also had another video where Kevin sets it straight that him and the son, they're still okay. We're working through some stuff, but it's not as bad as possibly how it's being presented, as if they don't have no relationship anymore. There was a lot that he did. That's on Sherelle's World, a channel on YouTube. Go check it out. I'm kind of more on his side on some of the things than I had been. I've been kind of defending the sisters because y'all just make them the villains for everything. He doesn't really know what the rift is. He says that it must be because I don't have enough money. Kevin, I think you know. I think some of it has to do with when there was infidelity. But Kevin said, look, it wasn't just me. We was cheating on each other. So if that's the issue, hey, we worked through it and we stayed married to each other. I just know when I watched, I think it's episode 5 or 6 of season 1 of Braxton Family Values, when they go to Maryland, and Tamar's in a confessional saying, like, we really don't go to Tracy's house because Kevin has wanted to keep us separate from Tracy. So I don't know what all that means. I probably have to watch those seasons again, and maybe I will, just to kind of get understanding. But out of everything that I'm watching as far as this whole show, Tracy should have been an executive producer on this show. And what I mean by that, A, they are using her likeness and her, whatever it is. They're using her. They're using her image and likeness. Kevin is over her estate. And he's being used heavily in this show. Him and Trina are carrying this show. Tamar did her little one too. The rest aren't really. You know, I don't know how the show is going to make it, and I really don't know if I'll continue if there's a season 2, because I don't like what's going on. It's very manipulative, and I know a lot of things go on when it comes to death and all that. I'm just not with it myself. What was I going to say? Tracy should be an executive producer, and little Kevin should be getting a check. You're still using her likeness. You used it last night on this episode by showing all of her hummingbird tattoos. Hopefully Kevin wises up if he's going to come season 2, but he should have been getting this check. That's all I do have. Again, there wasn't really much going on. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please give me your thoughts on it. Give me your thoughts on what you think should little Kevin be getting a check? Because it looked like he's being used as a tribute to his mom. There's a business side to everything, and there's a family relationship side to everything also. So get your coin, Kevin, and hopefully you wise up about that. Well, again, I thank you for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe and leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.